It came down in silence. Not the roar of a meteor, not the tearing scream of re-entry. Just a ripple through the clouds, a faint hum in the air, and then a blackened crater outside New Lark, Wyoming. At its center was not stone. It was metal. A sphere, smooth as glass, seamless, reflecting nothing. The kind of object you couldn't stop looking at, yet could never remember the details of once you turned away. The government arrived before the local news could even guess what it was. They said meteorite. But when they touched it, it opened. From within spilled a lattice of liquid metal, flowing like mercury, but breaking apart into motes, no bigger than grains of dust. These motes shifted, merged, split again, forming patterns too fast for the eye to follow. They were alive, or something like it. Scientists called it adaptive memory nanotech, AMN. Each particle was a self-replicating, self-repairing machine. When introduced into the human bloodstream, they didn't destroy, they reorganized. You didn't just feel different. You were different. Test subjects remembered everything, from the moment they were born, to what they'd eaten 3 Thursdays ago, to the name of a stranger they'd passed once on a street. And then the second miracle. They could see one day into the future. Not blurry premonitions, not dreams, a perfect recording of tomorrow. People used it to win trades, predict storms, avoid accidents, and say the right thing at the right time. Marriages healed. Businesses boomed. Crime plummeted. Those who accepted the injection spoke of clarity, of feeling whole for the first time. Some called it a blessing from God. Others whispered it was bait, a Trojan horse from somewhere far less holy. But when life is perfect, who listens to the fearful? The sickness began as whispers. A handful of users complained of headaches, of faint metallic tastes in their mouths. Doctors found nothing. Then the hallucinations started. Not visions of the future this time, but of dark corridors, machines breathing like animals, and skies the color of rust. They felt weak, unsteady. Their skin took on a sheen, not sweat, but a thin reflective film, like the orb itself. Fearing it was a withdrawal symptom, most didn't stop. They used the tech more. The visions grew sharper, louder, voices speaking in a language that somehow sounded older than language itself. Then came the changes you couldn't hide. Jawlines twisting, teeth elongating into interlocking ridges, eyes losing their whites, replaced with churning silver pools, fingers merging into jointed claws, twitching as though moved by invisible strings. Their minds went first. The memories, the precious gift of total recall, burned out, leaving them with nothing but the visions. They became wanderers, staring at the horizon as if waiting for something. And then, the sky split. A shape unlike any ship we've built bled through the air. It wasn't symmetrical. It pulsed, parts of it folding inward while others grew outward, like watching coral grow in seconds. The hull was covered in ridges that looked grown, not forged. The beings that emerged wore no suits. They didn't need them. Their bodies were a lattice of bone-like struts and black fluid that moved through gaps in their frames. Their faces were open designs, with dozens of flickering sensory nodes where eyes should have been, shifting and closing like shutters. They moved among the transformed, touching their faces gently, almost reverently. In a voice like wet stone grinding, one of them spoke, though the sound came from inside the listener's head. Our tools have ripened. They will serve well in the harvest. The transformed followed them without hesitation, disappearing into the ship's living corridors. Before leaving, the being looked toward the human soldiers holding the crater's edge, its sensory nodes aligned, a gesture we would later recognize as a smile. Planet X thanks you for your care. When the next gift arrives, be sure to accept it quickly. The ship folded in on itself, like a memory being deleted, and the sky was empty again. Some celebrated, claiming the infected had been taken to a higher plane. Others began to burn their AMN injections, smashing the last of the nanobot canisters. But at night, I still feel the hum in the air, and I swear I can see tomorrow.